You got all that stuff?
Yeah, I've act if you ever want to if you want ever wanna look to browse around, just let me know. I'll give you a
Yeah, I
I'll
need
give
that in
you
my
yeah, I'll just give you the stuff and you can go in there backstage.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I need that one, brother.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. Anytime. I think the battery's dead on that.
Round up, homies. How to find the best Airbnb. What up? Saturday Night Live. This is the real Saturday Night Live.
Real Saturday night. Yeah, that's right. That's right, dude. We should start a show that called that, man. Everybody remembers SNL. That show's still pumping though, man.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It's been around a while.
How do you
Been around a
save?
while.
How do you stay relevant? I'm just like I'm trying to stay relevant for a little bit of time. You know what? They got people coming in and out though, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of people start their career like a lot of careers got started on SNL. You remember back in the day, we see some of these amazing people on there, and it's like, holy cow.
yeah, brother. I feel like some people
Um,
gonna start. I know people have started their investing careers on the Roundup channel. I get emails.
oh,
I got an email
absolutely.
today from a guy like just saying, man, just the content that we're sharing.
Absolutely, man. When yeah, I wish that I can't imagine, dude. I say this the other day. Our event we're doing in Houston, and one of the guys call and say, "Can I bring my son?" And I'm sitting here thinking, man, can you imagine being around this at like 12? Imagine being around this stuff at 12 years old, 13. Man, if I could, oh my goodness.
I would have never. Yeah. Well, I look at my daughters and I'm wondering what they're
Yeah,
conceptualizing. I'm like, dude, do you know it doesn't take 'em much, and I would love for them. But then you look at Will Smith and his kids hated coming up through his footsteps. So
yeah,
you just
true,
don't know,
true.
dude.
Yeah, you just that's true. That's true. Yeah, you just don't know. Yeah, and his son was a good actor, did some great movies and stuff, and still, yeah, you're right, man.
Did you? I
It's
was
true.
reading his book, and his book. Did you read the book?
I haven't read the book. Actually, I saw it in the airport the other day, and I knew you were, and I said, "Man, I should get this because Chris said this is a good book." But I haven't gotten. You said it was pretty good though, right?
Was good, but my point is that the first on the cover is like his kids. There was a quote, yeah, da 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 da. The kids were saying we were the star ringleaders at the circus of Will Smith.
Mm,
And it was like, damn. When I read that statement, I'm like, holy cow, man. I mean, just to just to perceive your life as you're the ringleader, and I just
mm.
could not imagine having that thought about my life.
Yeah, no, that's true. Where you felt like your life was lived on just on the stage all the time. Like there was never a time where you could just chill
Be a kid, and not only the
and
stage,
be a
you're
kid.
on the Will Smith stage, not the
Yeah,
Mike
exactly.
Fritz stage. I mean, it just I was talking to my wife today. I'm like, "Man, it's gotta be something, yo."
That's completely different, man. Yeah, because I mean, he's everything from obviously a huge actor, but I mean, he's got a lot of other stuff. He put out some music. I mean, the dude's got a platform that's massive.
It's just
You know,
massive, yeah, massive, so
yeah. He
anyway, so
did
you
put out
never
some
know.
good music, though. I'll tell you that his music
Yeah,
was
growing up,
was awesome.
he was the soundtrack of my teens, so
Oh yeah, yeah. He was good. He was good. Well, man, it's good to
round up.
see you tonight, Friday or Saturday night here.
Yeah, I had to get you on. We missed each other this week, so I'm like, "You know what? Done is better than perfect."
That's right. Amen to that.
So we're gonna get it done
Amen to
and
that.
get a message out for the week. Roundup. I'm Chris Haskins. I'm your co-pilot tonight, flying in 40,000 foot in the Roundup Network with my man Mike Fritz. What up, homie?
What's up, my man? It's good to see you. How's thing in Hampton, Virginia today? Or not Hampton? I mean Virginia Beach today.
Same thing. Yeah, my kids going crazy. They were screaming all day as usual.
As usual, as usual, man. Well, you got a lot of energy in those kids, man.
I
A
try
lot of
to feed
energy.
off of
Oh,
them.
there's Hampton, Virginia. There we go.
William in the building. What up, Willie? Will?
So, how far is Hampton from you? Are you pretty close to that?
Yeah, I'm in Hampton. I mean, I
Oh,
bounced back
you
and
are in
forth.
Hampton.
Yeah,
So,
well,
it's same area.
I got real estate all Virginia Beach, Hampton, Chesapeake,
Okay,
all this stuff.
got it,
So.
got it, got it, got it. Yeah.
But where you at though? You in a hotel?
Yeah, yeah. So Phoenix, Arizona, obviously, is where my home base is, and then tonight I'm up by just north of Philly. I'm just north of Philly tonight, And so I'm actually a lot closer to you than I usually am.
Yeah, you
So
right here.
I'm just north of Philly tonight. I'm speaking at Penn State. I spoke at Penn State today, did a leadership training for a bunch of up and coming leaders, and so it was fun to do that. And I always love when I get to come and do these and even weave what I'm doing in with real estate um, into these leadership stuff to help them see what they can do. A lot of these kids want to start businesses and they want to go out and do some amazing things, and so it was fun to be. So I'm closer to you today, man, just north of Philly.
Please tell me you are integrating social media with your, at least with your content to these people, Mike.
Yeah, yeah. So there's actually a lot of colleges are having people come in and talk about social media, not only from a projection, like when I talk to people about leadership and how to win over people, like even in a job interview when you're out in the world and how to win people over, man, they're going to check your social media out. So not only does it need to be clean, but you need to. I mean, having you with your friends, drunk at a bar is not going to probably win you the deal. So you gotta clean that up, but also using it as a platform, right? You can use it as a platform to even win influence, even at a young age, without tons and tons of followers. And so absolutely,
Good.
man, it's
Thank you
huge.
for that. We need that, man. I think young people, they don't know what
No,
they
and
have. It's like a kid getting a Rolex, like, man, what is this? I don't get it.
yeah, right.
They don't
It's
even
so
know,
true,
Mike.
man. It's so true, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I grew up, and you and I grew up the same era where we didn't really grow up with social media. We didn't get it till we were adults,
Hmm.
and had to learn it kind of as adults. But a lot of these natives have just kind of never known life without it.
Don't even know. Yeah, they just think my kids think the internet is just, yeah, they're like, what's a home phone? What's a
Yeah, I know, right?
phone?
What's a landline? What does that even mean? Yeah, yeah, exactly, man.
So the perspective, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So what do we got on the docket tonight, my friend?
Yeah. Round up. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is the real where the rubber hits the road. You are here because you're no doubt sick of the mess that comes on TV, and you were chosen to cut that craziness off. I tell my kids foolishness, and then you tuned in to people that are doing real estate deals. I just closed one. You see my little deal book. I'll show you how my deal book is, y'all. So this is my deal book. So we all my deals here in alphabetical order. So we got E for Ethel Drive, just closed. Here's a contract. Memorandum. You know the memorandum we always get signed, so the seller can't back out on us. Land trust. So you got all that stuff on your deals. Mike, you got a deal book? How do you keep your stuff organized regarding deals you're looking at?
So
This
I'm
is
not
some
near
good
the.
stuff, yo. Go ahead.
No, that is really good, man. I'm learning tonight because I don't have a deal book, man. I don't have a, but with in multi, you do a lot less deals. It's more like you have an investor book
Okay.
because you have you only you don't need to run. That's the thing with multi. You don't need to run hundreds of deals to make a lot of money. You could do 1 to 2 deals a year and generate a
I
massive
love
amount
it.
of wealth
I love
over
it.
the time. And but that's a good idea,
But
man. I
still, you
learned
gotta.
tonight.
Well, I got two sections, right? And we're gonna get to tonight. We're talking about Airbnb. The first section here, A through Z, is stuff I'm looking at. I'll show you
Oh,
from
cool,
this side.
cool.
So this is like
That's
not
just the hunt. What you're looking at.
the stuff that's not under contract, and then the back part is A through Z under contract that needs to be done, and we're working on it or whatever. So sometimes
Yeah, man. That's
we're, we're looking. So,
I love it. I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't they miss is the real estate business from A to Z. What to
mhm,
do? A lot of people focus on that LLC. Okay, that's great. Get your LLC set up, but then what? What do you do? How do you structure it? What
mhm.
teams do you need? And so that's the kind of stuff that'll stop you or propel you.
That's right, organization.
Hmm.
So speaking of organization, so tonight roundup, we are just here giving. If you do not have your internet search based database down yet, you can go right up there to PropStream. If you go to chrispropertydata.com, it's going to help you do a skip tracing, find owner occupant houses, liens, pre foreclosures. You can locate owners of different types of properties, non-owner occupied, and it can also show you child support, all type of judgments. So you can go out there do mailers and skip traces and cold calling and all that stuff. One of my favorites, multiple mortgages. Okay, so go head right over there to PropStream. It's Chris Property Data. You're gonna get a slight discount and a free 7-day trial. Always make sure I have to let everybody know about that. But organization, Mike, Tonight we're talking about being
Absolutely.
organized and looking. So Airbnb, short-term rentals, you have a site that I'm like, you showed me the other day. And I had no, I heard about it, but I didn't really know how it worked. We were doing a call with our inner circle members, and you were kind of sharing this stuff with me, Mike. And I thought it would be cool to share with the Roundup fan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the things when you're thinking about short-term rentals, and if you have not seen this short-term rental market and the available the power of this,
Let's
there's
talk about
so
it.
many.
40,000 foot view first.
Yeah, 40,000 foot view, short-term rental. You understand, you buy a single family home, you rent it out to a tenant, they pay you every month, right? That's
Or
called
not. Oh, yeah,
long.
go ahead. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's called long-term rental. Even me as a multifamily owner, most of our units are filled with tenants that sign either 1 year or multiple year leases, and that's called a long-term tenant. Well,
Mhm.
short-term, and everybody's heard of Airbnb, or maybe even you've not heard of, maybe VRBO is a little bit more, a little bit not as popular as Airbnb, but it's certainly out there. Airbnb, VRBO, and these vacation rental kind of places are short-term, where they come and they might stay 2 nights, 5 nights, 10 nights. They might stay 30 days. We just had a 90-day booking, 93-day booking off Airbnb, like a 3 month. That's a
Wait.
longer, but 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 it's considered short term, where it's more of these vacation rentals. And it doesn't always have to be a vacation spot. Chris did a great video on the traveling nurses. That's more of a kind of a shorter term, but short term rentals, man, there's so much money to be made, and so much and there's some powerful ways. Chris, maybe you and I should do a video about this. We're doing some stuff with this with our inner circle members, about how you don't even have to own the property. That's the power of these short term rental markets, is you don't even have to own the property,
I
and
think
you can do this. What's that, man?
I stay there, man, because I think times are just changing, Mike. How in the hell can your brain even understand right now? Years ago, you couldn't make passive income on a house that you didn't own.
No, no,
Now it's
no, no,
like,
no.
bam.
Yeah, it's so, and other people. The cool thing is, when you think about a business like that, oh, I'm gonna do short term rental, so I'm gonna rent out 1 night, 2 night, 5 night, 10 night. Well, you
Mhm.
have to have some way for those people to find you. Well, man, now there's services like Airbnb. They essentially do a lot of the marketing for you, so you
For
just
you.
have to get the property. Yeah, and that's the power of this. And if you when you get a property, this should at least be in your thought process of, does it work for this model? Because if it does, then you can make some good money.
There's something, right? It's crazy because what that actually we are deploying it now. We got several set up. I'm always looking at different stuff. And I just told myself, look, since the market was so hot right now, why
Hmm.
not just look at partnering up with other people that own it and getting, man, you can make up to $1,000, not even owning the property. And think about it, before, single guys like us, man, we were like $200-300 a month. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. And think about that return on investment. So, Chris, you think about that short-term model. You got to furnish it, so you got some expense up front. You got your deposit and your first month's rent, so you got some expense. But man, let's say I put 7 to 10 grand into one of these things, and I get 1,000 a month. I'm making my money back the first
In a
year and
year.
more.
In a year.
Like, how you ain't doing that on a long-term rental? No multifamily, no single. You just ain't doing that. It's just not going to happen. And
Not
uh, and
gonna
this is
happen.
an amazing model where you don't have to. Real estate. If you're not making money today in real estate, I just want to, if I could love you for a minute, it's just because you're not deploying the right strategies. If I
Mhm.
could just be truthful, there's too many strategies for you to. If you look at your bank account, you don't see any money in there. That doesn't mean you can't make money in real estate. And so you just can't. That's just, if you're not making money in real estate, I'm not saying it's your own fault, but I'm saying it's maybe you don't know the right strategies, because there's a lot of strategies out there. I didn't know this strategy right before I knew it. Man, if you don't have any capital, it's a great one, right?
I didn't either. And you know, it's weird, Mike. I think a lot of us are just like the people in our inner circle. We had a one-on-one call the other day.
Yeah,
I think of the resistance. Remember, she was
yeah.
talking about the
Mm.
resistance, and I feel you. I can't stand doing new. I want to just do the same thing for the rest of my life. I don't want to learn new stuff
Over and
either.
over and over and over and over. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. People think that, man. Our YouTube channel. I put out a video every single day. People think, man, Mike must love doing videos. He puts out a video every single day. Man, when I'm sitting there shooting videos, I just want to sit on my couch and chill. So it's not like I want to be doing this all the time and
You don't want to
laying
do it.
out content for 20 videos every month. You think that, and so a lot of times we have to pivot and shift and change the way we think about this. It's like you did a video a while ago on the metaverse, and sometimes people might be kicking what's coming. I'm telling you, don't kick it, embrace it, learn from it, and leverage it. And this is one of those kinds of things that is here that
The
you could be
sharing
leveraging.
economy. The sharing
Yep.
economy. You do not have to
Mm,
own stuff. Look at Google. They don't own anything. They all they do is refer.
right.
Yahoo, they
That's right.
refer. Airbnb, they refer. All they do is refer. That's another one I pay every month. The car one. What's the car one when you get in the car? They don't own any cars, but you can go
Oh,
Uber.
Uber. Yeah, don't own any cars. Yeah, Netflix doesn't own any movies. I mean, they produce some, but I'm
Now
saying
they
like
do.
now they do. But when they started, they didn't own any movies.
Own movies.
Facebook is the number one share of content in the world. That in YouTube, neither of them own really the content. They don't own the content,
They don't even
and
put up the content. They
they
don't
don't
even
put up the
create it.
content. No, nope. And it's the same way with Airbnb. And this is why every single person listening tonight, or no matter when you're listening to this video, you can deploy a strategy, but you got to know where to go, right? Because if you try to pick this strategy up in the hills of Iowa, where all you see is cornfields, you're going to fail, and you're going to say, "Man, that Mike and Chris don't know what they're talking about." You got to know where to do the strategy, and then it's a power move in your real estate
Yeah,
career.
I love that. So let's bring up some of that data, which actually blew my mind. And can you also go over that data, Mike, about population growth and stuff? Because we had
Oh yeah.
another, we had a call. And by the way, guys, if you're interested, Mike and I, with our real estate edition in the circle, there's a link in the video description if you want to set up a call to see if you fit to be. Because not everybody. We first of all, we can't coach and train everybody. Second,
Hmm.
may not be a fit for you. Third, you can book a call with us, and there's only a few slots left for the next few days. Mike and I take time. I tell you, we take time out of our day to talk to each and every one of y'all because we love you. Want to see if we can help you in 2022 grow your real estate business.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love, like you said, Chris, about the other day, those light bulbs that go off. Now, one of our coaching clients is deploying this exact strategy. They're looking for scripts of how to call and make this happen because, hey, it's here. Now this strategy hits. And
It's
so
here, dude.
when you think about a short-term rental market, Chris and I both talk about this. Chris is in one of those markets. He lives in one of those markets. I happen to live in one of those markets in Phoenix, Arizona. But the cool thing about this strategy is you don't have to live in the area in which, if you don't live in one of these areas that I'm going to show you, doesn't mean you can't deploy this strategy. There's ways to do this long term or long distance. You don't have to live in the city. So this is what a lot of people think, Chris, and this is what I thought when I first started off, is you have to own real estate where you live. Like
Hmm.
I bought all my properties around where I lived, and now I've realized I own my house, but I don't own any real estate in Phoenix. And Phoenix is a
That's
great place. I'm
cool.
just investing in other places. So when we tell you these markets, don't think that well, yeah, but I don't live there. That doesn't matter. There's actually Airbnb managers that can manage the whole thing for you.
That's
And
really cool.
so just don't shut this off. And again, remember, keep your mind open. Keep your mind open. And so I'll show you a couple things. So one of the things you want to come to when you're thinking about Airbnb and is number one, it's more of not people don't always only use Airbnb for vacations. Some people use it when they're traveling for work. Some people use it when they're traveling to see, they're just like, hey, we're going to go down here. And, sometimes
Anything.
when I'm traveling to see real estate, I stay in Airbnbs because I'd rather have a kitchen and eat healthy and do my thing than stay in a hotel. Right. And so it's not always vacation, but you do have to
Anything.
have a couple. Yeah, exactly. You just have to have a couple things. Number one, you just have to make sure there's a reason for people to go there. There's either a thriving business community, there's colleges there, there's there's vacation draw there. There's some reason for them to go there. So, but there's a way to do this. I can go ahead and I'll share my
Yeah, let's do it.
screen.
I thought when I
uh
started my Airbnb, Mike, I was going to be the one guy. You let me know when you're ready. I was
yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
ready,
the
my
one
man.
guy. Okay, the one guy that would just fail. Nobody would come stay in my Airbnb, and
Right?
it
Isn't that
wasn't a
crazy?
fact. They came right. They booked.
They
I
can't.
had no. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man. That's a bit. That's what I thought too.
I had no idea people were coming to visit family members, weddings, funerals, graduations, far apart people just having a special day. It was. I'm like, why are these people coming here? I had no clue they were coming.
No, dude, it's so true. So when we have an 8-unit apartment building right next to Notre Dame that we turned into, it was an 8-unit multifamily. We turned it into Airbnb. So
Hmm.
we furnished it, turned it into Airbnb. The first month I was on, I put my listing live. I got a booking within like 3 or 4 days for the whole month, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
So we were renting these out at 1,600 a month. They rented it out through Airbnb at 2,500 a month. So I got an extra, what's that? An extra $900 a month from Airbnb, and
That's cool.
it booked in like 3-4 days. So when you put it on there, man, people are going to find it because they're
Yep.
looking if you pick it in the right areas. So this is a site,
Wow.
Chris. Can you everybody see my screen?
Yep.
All righty. So this is a site called AirDNA, and it's the idea of Airbnb. The DNA of Airbnb is kind of the site, why it's called that, and why it has a login button up here in the right hand corner is you get a lot more data from AirDNA if you pay for the subscription. There's a subscription model, but you can get some data without even paying for it. So what you want to do is you want to first look in. I mean, you look where you live. That's fine, but let's say I live in, let's say Charlotte, North Carolina, or actually let's just say Orlando. Let's just say Orlando, Florida. Let's say I live in Orlando, Florida. So I click Orlando, Florida, and then some things are going to come up for AirDNA. So it'll tell me, do you want a free account? Do you want to close out? You can actually close out of this. You can
So the
close
free
out of
account,
this.
are we going over the free one, Mike, or do you have the paid one?
Yeah, no, you actually don't even have to do this. You can actually click off this. I'm gonna do it on another one because you actually don't even have to do a free account, but you can do a free account. But yeah, the computer's acted funny tonight. So let's just do a free account real quick so everybody can see what I'm doing. So if I created,
You already had an account, don't you?
yeah, I do have an account.
They must want you to sign in. Oh, I already have an account. You got to log in.
Yeah, I gotta log in, man. I gotta log in. There we go. So I log in. You can create a free account, by the way, and it obviously doesn't cost anything. If you want some more data points, you'll need to purchase, but you don't. So here's the thing. It's loading here. The computer's being a little slow tonight. So this is what it's going to show you if I live in Orlando. It's going to show me that my average daily rate is going to be 198. By the way, average daily rate. This will dictate a lot of the kind of property you have. But then it'll also tell you the average occupancy rate, and then it'll tell you your average revenue per month.
Look at that.
So you can see what an Airbnb will make you in your area. So if you live in Orlando, or let's say you don't live in Orlando, let's say you live in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's say you live in Atlanta. Hit that, and Atlanta's going to come up here in a minute. And then you can tell, okay, I got 168, 53% occupancy. It's going to make me a couple grand a month. Okay, you can tell it's going to make me a couple grand a month. And if you have an apartment that's making you $950 or a house that's making you $1,300, this is a pretty good model. It's going to make you a little bit more money, right? And so, and this is actually really cool. You can come down and see what percentage comes through Airbnb and what percentage comes through VRBO. 70% is coming through Airbnb in Atlanta. 11% is coming through VRBO.
Sweet.
And so you can tell what. So if I go back to the Orlando, let me log in here, and just to go back through a couple cities. So I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's pull up Phoenix, and we'll show you here in a minute. If I come up here to Phoenix, this is the kind of thing, man. I tell you what, I just wish that I wish that I had, when I first started in real estate, these kinds of tools, because I just didn't know these kinds of tools were even out there. And so, by the way, AirDNA, the code is, it's airdna.co, not .com like most sites are. It's .co, airdna.co to get to this site, by the way.
Yep.
So if I come to Phoenix, $164 average, 71%, $2,300 a month. And so one of the things that you can do if you hit view rates, it's going to get sample. It's going to give you a sample, but this is where I wanted to show you. If you click some of these things, it's going to block it out for you until you have a paid account. But the good thing you can have is you can get these average daily rates, occupancy rates, and revenue without doing much. And coming down here, oh, this is interesting. It's a little bit more. 58% is coming through an Airbnb, a little bit less than the other one, and 18% for Airbnb or VRBO. Now, here's a cool thing for rental size. If you have studio 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so there's 923 rentals at 2 bedrooms. There's 747 at 3, 474 220. So now my wife and I live in a 5-bedroom. We have a 5-bedroom home. So if I had a 5-bedroom home and I put this thing on Airbnb, I wouldn't have as near as much competition.
Hmm.
And so you can see where your competition is going to land on how many. Of course, there's going to be less competition than more bedrooms, obviously. And then you can see this rental growth. This is a powerful thing as well. You can see the rental growth in the market, and then it's coming back up. It took this is 18, 19, 20, and then 21. That doesn't have 20. The end of 20 Q4 2021, which is coming back up. It's continually growing in Phoenix.
Where's that
This
dip
area.
there for? What time is
The
that dip?
dip there is Q3 and 20. This was COVID.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
You know, Q1, 2, and 3 of 20 is COVID. That's why
Hmm.
you saw a big dip right there, is because of COVID.
Yep.
And then it
Okay.
came, and then entering into Q3 of 20 is when it came back up, and now
Yeah.
it's even skyrocketing higher, and it's been in a very ever. Airbnb is stronger than it's ever been. So that dip, yeah, that was the COVID hit, and so then you can come down here and see the rental activity, and so you can see these. So only 28% of these are available full time, meaning a lot of them people live in them and then leave for the hot months and rent them out or whatever. So a lot
That's
of these are
big.
second homes. So you can see so much data here. And I can stop sharing now too if you
Okay.
want, Chris.
That's just
But that's a lot of data for you to get if you want to see if your Airbnb works.
yeah, that's crazy because I think a lot of us, well, speaking for me, I was nervous. Is it going to work? Do people even want to go there? So
Hmm.
basically, because I'm typing in, let's say $150 a night. That's not to say I'm going to be booked every night.
Correct. And the
So
cool thing about that
yeah.
is that will tell you the average daily booking rate in your area and the average occupancy. So then and then the average monthly revenue. So for you, the occupancy might be around, you might be 60, 70%. Now, let me tell you something. A really good Airbnb manager will make their money back for you. So for example, our Airbnb manager doesn't just use Airbnb and VRBO. She also leverages booking.com, the same place people go to book hotels. Now you have to have a
Wow.
corporate account to get that. So because she manages so many, she has networked her way in and has gotten to where we can be on booking.com. So when they're on booking.com and all these hotels are coming up, our listings are coming up too. And
That's
so you
cool.
can go an area that usually gets 60% occupancy, you can drive that up to the mid 70s and really, really increase your revenue. And
That's
so,
sharp.
but this data is so powerful, to get your to be able to just see what your area pulls. What does it look like?
Hmm.
And so, but again, some of the areas, I'll just tell you some really good areas just so you know. So you can definitely do the data, but I can tell you that, I mean, you come down into Florida, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, Miami, they're all going to be powerful markets. Come up into
Hmm.
Georgia, you're going to have Atlanta, Charlotte, is going to be one. Myrtle Beach is going to be a great Airbnb market. You come down into Texas, you've got a lot of great Airbnb markets. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin's a powerful Airbnb market. You've got some, Phoenix is a good Airbnb market. California is a beautiful Airbnb market because it's 360. Airbnb is probably the only thing I would do from a rental perspective in Cali, just because it's a little bit different on that tenant landlord
Yeah,
issue.
I'm stuck
And
with that.
so, yeah.
But I don't want I don't want my roundup homies to think if even if they're say you're in a rural area.
Hmm.
I used to think that would be bad till I had a friend picked up one of these things, and he's doing extremely well because people want to get away from populous
The big
areas and go
cities.
out there. Yeah, so I'm like, dude, are you crazy? It was in a no-name town, some country little town. And he's like, man, this thing is booked every
Yeah.
day because people
Yep.
wanted to get away.
So what was interesting, and so we used to live in half of our duplex. This was probably 8 years ago
Mhm.
now. And we used to live in half of one of our duplexes, rent the other side, or no, the other side was my wife's office. So she had her business ran out of one side. We lived in one side. When we would travel, she would Airbnb out our side, and it was amazing. We often made thousands, and we lived in Southwest Michigan. Who in the world wants to vacation to Southwest Michigan?
Where is
And
that at in relation to the
it's a
D?
little city called it's in between Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids in
Okay,
in
yeah,
in
that's
in
small.
Michigan. So there's no draw there, and we rented our place out. So because a lot of times people come in for, it could be a family reunion. We had three college students ask if they could rent it for a 6-week college summer class that they were taking
Mm,
at Western Michigan University. So we rented to them, and it's just there's all kinds of reasons people are traveling,
yeah.
and so and you couple that Airbnb model with what Chris was talking about with the traveling nurse model, and man, you could really make a lot of money on this short term model if you want, and that. I mean, Chris, you're doing it on both
Yep.
sides of the fence there.
Yeah, both sides. I mean, I do want once again, I got to preface this by saying either you're gonna have a manager like Mike does. Mike doesn't do anything; he hires everything out, but he's a master at managing the managers, which we're not even going to get into that today. That is another skill, Mike. I think you downplay that a lot. I don't think we get into that enough because
Mm,
that's another skill that you have developed, right? I mean, you didn't know that at first, did you?
no, not at all, not at all.
Do you
And I
talk
can
about
tell
that
you,
a lot?
I don't talk about it enough. I don't talk about it enough. And when I think my biggest mistake in managing managers is I call it over assumption. So I just assumed they were doing what they were supposed to be doing, with a little bit of
Mm,
training on the front end. So I started doing a lot more groundwork. So it's tiered, right? So I start off with a manager, and I work for the first 2 3 months really hard to train them how I want things done and how to do that. And then my time wanes off to where I have a property in Kentucky. I might talk to my manager 10 minutes a month, maybe. And so but you work there, you work your way up there, the first couple months. It's not like, oh, I don't have to do anything. No, you have to the first, 2 3 months to make sure things smooth out, you know.
well, you got that set up though, Mike, because you've done that. I feel like you took all that jet fuel getting the plane off the ground, which most people may not even know to do that. I think
Yeah,
a lot of us
sure.
think in our mind that even my boy Ron, he manages all these thousands of doors and he talks about his owners. I think people just have in their mind they're gonna buy this big multifamily house, property manager's gonna manage it, and they're going to the beach. I just think that that's just a what
Yeah.
do you see that too?
So if you pick the right management company, you'll have a lot more beach time. But one of the things that I've realized with the management is multifamily, it's worth more money the more money you make. Well, I work with my managers to make sure they're pushing rents up and they're increasing the value of the building. So for me, I not only work with them on the front end, but the long-term management is to make sure we're on track to continue to increase the revenue of the building or decrease the expenses so that we're seeing our value show up in the building. That's where we're
Mhm.
really focusing long term with our managers.
So maybe we'll talk about managing the managers because
That's a good
people,
idea. That's a good
I don't
idea,
even think
man. Yeah.
people understand how it is.
Mm.
I mean,
Well, you
it's a
got to do
skill.
what's the yeah, it is. It is. It's a skill. You got to have a rhythm of communication. There's got to be a rhythm there. There's got to be a consistency because is Ron your manager, Chris? He's the one that manages all your stuff.
Yeah, basically, I'm like I show
Yeah.
up, make sure. Obviously, my eye is a little old. I've been doing single family long
Hmm.
runs. He does like apartment stuff, so I always put my eye on it from time to time. Sometimes I just remember granite might get measured too long, too short, little stuff, But
Yeah, sure, of course.
this dude is wow,
He's on it.
amazing,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
amazing.
When you find a good manager, you hold on for dear life because they're not easy to find. If you
Yo,
find one, you don't let them go. It's like, don't ever, ever leave, please.
I
Yeah.
cannot wait until you and him and me are able to do some deals, man. That's my goal for 2022 because I know you are going to love this dude.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I love it. I love it, dude. I
So
love it. I love it. Yeah, but this is a good site, right? I mean, you're able to get a lot of data for possibly doing short-term rentals.
yeah,
And maybe Chris, maybe we should take a whole video one day and walk through the model of how you can do it without even owning the property.
yeah, it takes a little time. I mean, once again, it's another because you can only do but so many if you're gonna self manage them yourself.
Correct.
Dealing with the cleaners, linens, making sure the
Hmm.
code and all that stuff. I mean, there are some moving parts, but yeah, well, I'm getting it. I just see for me that's the way to go. I'm like buying real estate. Yes, you can do that too, but we got real estate. So if some people need to go buy some stuff, so it's not for everybody, but it's just another income stream.
Another income stream, and you don't have to own it to do it. So, because a lot of people they see a piece of real estate, multifamily building, or they got to go, 80,000 or 100,000 or 200,000 to buy a
Yeah,
home,
I'm gonna
and
do it.
you don't have to do, or you don't have to partner with banks or even private money in this one. But here's the cool thing is, as you know, Chris and I talk about private money a lot. Let's say you did have to come up with 7 to 10,000. You don't have that. Well, that's a good place to bring a private lender in for a time,
Wow.
and you can have a private lender cover that for you for a time. Give them maybe a pay them a percentage for a year. You're gonna make all your money back that year anyway. So your first, you're
Wow.
paying your lender back, and then you still don't. You can do without your money at all.
That's sharp right there, Mike. I didn't think about that. You got way less money out too, huh?
Way less money, man. Way less money.
So
I love
round up,
it.
I just wanted to get on here, Mike. We missed you Wednesday. We wanted to go over this, but he was traveling. I got baby, sick kid, and but we want to make sure we bring you some value for the week.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always good to hang, man. I'm glad your little guy's doing better,
Yep.
and so glad your family's doing good, my friend. And so, but again, it's the action takers, right, man? I mean, you learn all this stuff. We put videos out, we put content out. Chris and I create tons and tons and tons of content, a lot together, and some even on our own. And I'm telling you this, the people that go away and do this stuff, it's
Action
about
takers.
taking that action.
And I
You
don't
got to
want you to
take action.
yeah, I don't want people to feel bad because I have my resistance to stuff. I just asked Mike about a thing before we got on here. I'm sure he has resistance to internet. I feel like you're like resistance to technology and internet stuff.
I do, man. I'm one of those guys that change slow technologically, and Chris is always saying, "Hey, have you heard about this?" And I'm like, "What is this, man? Tell me what this is." You just mentioned something to me before we got on here. I'm like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me?" Another
Another
thing, but
thing.
this is where he pushes me to be better because I gotta be open to what's coming or what's here. It's not even coming; it's here,
So we
and
all have
so.
our resistances and we coach people too. I just feel like that one with that call we had, I'm like, I know you I could tell. I could, older you
Mhm.
get, you see things from a different vantage point. I'm like, you got some resistance. Gotta work on
I'm
that.
seeing it. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. It's a great point because we all have it. It doesn't matter if it's some people it might be getting out there on
I
social
got
media.
it.
Some people it might be calling motivated sellers. You're like, yeah, what if they reject me? Some people might be calling
Money.
investors. Yeah, but what if
Yep.
they tell me no? Or or getting into a deal and maybe taking somebody's money and losing it. Or so there's
Hmm.
so much resistance that comes up to building this that this is
Resistance.
this is why you're here. This is why
I
you're here. And this is
love it.
why you need a community coach, somebody that can help you walk through this.
That's right. That's right. All right, roundup. So I'll put the link in the video description. If you are interested in getting some coaching and training from Mike and myself, we're doing our private money inner circle. Mike, you want to tell them a little bit about that? Then we get out of here.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so Chris and I launched the Real Estate Ignition Inner Circle this year. It's really to ignite your real estate by leveraging other people's money, by helping raise capital. And we have people in the group doing all sorts of different models too. Some in the multifamily game, some doing this Airbnb model, some seeking to do some fix and flips, and a lot of them in the middle of deals. And so there's all kinds of different deals. So it's not something that you don't have to come in with a certain model, but one thing remains consistent. We're going to help you leverage other people's money to get real estate done. And
Money.
that's what Chris and I, money, money.
Money
It
team.
takes money. It does. People say it takes money to make money, and they're right. It just doesn't have to take your
Don't have to be your
money.
money.
Doesn't have to be your money. And so that statement's
I
actually
love
true,
it.
but it doesn't take your money. And so you gotta do that. So yeah. So Chris and I put the Real Estate Ignition Inner Circle where we're coaching a group of people, helping people get real estate and trying to make a difference. And so if you want to,
Where we gonna be this
uh,
week next weekend, Mike?
oh man, we're going to Houston in a few weeks. We're going to be in Houston, Texas, with our inner circle down there doing a couple days of live training. We're going to do a real estate tour. We're going to bust everybody out to a property. We're going to have a property manager speak to people how to work with property managers out of state. He's going to do a training of what to look for and all that good stuff. So yeah, so we're going to be busting everybody out there. We're going to do some workshop on wheels, do some teaching on the way out to the property and on the way back. Chris and I are
Daniel's
going to be in
coming.
different vans. Dan's
Yep.
coming. Yeah, man. It's going
Dan
to be
Guerrero.
if you want to come hang out with us in Houston in a few weeks and you want to absolutely come back a completely different person, this is the week to do it. It's time to get in.
Yeah, I'm like as I enjoy hanging around Mike. He really pushes me. I'm so daggone laid back, man. I'm like Mike is just like, okay, let's go do this. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, and Chris keeps me from going too crazy. So that's why we're a good match. We're a good match.
Yes. So
Very good,
round
man.
up. If you need to just schedule a call, we got a few slots open. No pressure. It ain't the cheapest thing. Obviously, you're gonna find some cheaper guys out there. Go ahead and do that too. But we've raised millions of dollars. Now, I can honestly say that I'm so thankful to be able to be this type of person that can do this now and
Mm,
share the good word with you. It's an honor to
amen
work
to
with you
that.
guys. Yep.
Yeah, it's so good, man. So thankful for you, brother. Thanks so much for tonight, and
Yep.
just love to help. Reach out if we can help you in any way. Would love to help be a propellant to whatever you're doing.
So, Mike, before we get out of here, if you don't mind, share. I got something happening Monday. Can I bring my screen up right here? Then we'll get out of here.
Absolutely, go for
Round
it, my
up
man. Go
this
for
Monday.
it.
I got my guys coming on. My mystery man is going to be showing you how to find government contracts. I finally found a guy.
Ooh,
He's an 8A certified contractor. I mean, he's doing 7-figure deals. I seen it, and he's got a 2 comma. He's in the 2 comma club.
oh,
So
beast.
that means he does $1 million. So round up Monday at 7. You do not want to miss this guy. I've already convinced him. I've been dealing with him every day for a week, trying to get him to not only give us some special goodies, but also I've got him to agree to give us a 3-day workshop. He's going to include anybody that comes on. So you do not want to miss this dude. Why not partner with the biggest, baddest business in the land, the United States government? That is my motto with my Section 8 tenants. I'm like, they're printing money. Why not get some of it?
Yeah, that's so true,
They're
man.
printing money, yo.
That is so freaking true.
All right. So, Mike,
Uh,
anything else you want to leave for the homies before you get out of here?
no, man, I'm just telling you, man, this Airbnb thing, don't just
Don't
write it
sleep
off
on it.
because you don't understand it or you don't think about it. You can do it.
Well,
You can do this.
I think that call we had the other day really hit me because when I
You
see
did.
people like her, I'm like, where is this resistance? And I know we don't want to learn new stuff. I'm like, I want to get
Hmm.
into that, so I want to hit it because we're gonna have Clarence come on and talk to them. I'm not asking you don't have to do all that, but I'll get on with them to do that. Your Airbnb manager,
Yep.
I think we need to
Yep.
hit that on fire on all cylinders because I don't think she's unique. I think she is the norm for
Norm. Totally.
people
Totally.
not wanting to get into this thing. They think they need to own the house to make the money when they really don't.
Yeah. And that's the other thing we do in this inner circle is we actually bring our own vendors on, and
Why not?
let you ask them questions and connect with them, and they actually come on to my Airbnb manager is going to come on. She virtually manages all my stuff, and Chris has somebody who partners with him on his Airbnb stuff, and he's going to bring him, and stuff. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's powerful, powerful, man.
You think? Let me ask you. So, being that it's such a new, I guess that's a whole new industry, right? Let's say it's less than 5 years old. I don't. How old
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. I would say, I mean, Airbnb's been around since '07, I think, but it doesn't seem,
Mainstream.
but mainstream, dude. Yeah, it really. I mean, we were doing, yeah,
How many?
we were, it's really taken off over the last 3 to 5 years, I think,
Gotcha.
as a rental strategy. So, see, back in like 10 to 15, people were using their own homes to rent out. Then real estate investors said, how can I start using other people's homes? How can I buy properties and just for this purpose? And
Period.
period. And so it became more of an investment
Strategy.
strategy than the last 5 years versus just using your own personal space.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
feel like that was kind of the shift, in my opinion.
So basically, from just like a bed and breakfast, because I stayed in bed and
Yeah,
breakfast. I've stayed in them when I traveled in different countries. It wasn't really popular here, in the early 2000s. I mean, people
seriously.
did it,
Yeah.
but
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No,
so.
that's huge. Yeah. That's huge.
All right,
Huge,
round
my
up.
man.
Good to see you guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the content, share with anybody else that wants to make passive income, but they might not want to actually go out and buy the property. You can do this. We are doing this, okay? I'll see you guys on the next video, Mike.
All righty. Have a good night, everybody.
All
Go
right,
crush it.
peace.